What's up, guys? I'm back with another video on my FJ60. What are we doing today? Stay tuned. Here we are back at the tailgate workbench. What are we working on today? Well, today we are changing out the thermostat. And don't let this guy fool you. He's nice and clean. It costs about 17 bucks. But when you go to your local corner auto parts store, all their pictures have a nice little O-ring on it, like this guy. But guess what? He doesn't come with an O-ring. You have to find this guy separately, which was a pain in the ass. O'Reilly's didn't have it. AutoZone didn't have it. Advanced Auto ended up having it, and it goes right on top right there. Also, you'll need the housing gasket. Got one of those. That was like $1.80. I also got some Mega Blue. My temp gauge doesn't seem to be working right, so I went and bought out, yes, another mechanical gauge. Here's a Bosch temp fuel gauge, not temp fuel gauge, but a temp gauge for the water. You got this on one end, and you have this guy on the other. The only part I don't understand, it's like you can't remove this stuff off of here. But anyways, let's get to installing all this stuff today. Check it out, the thermostat housing. As you can see, I've already done some work here. You have 4 12mm bolts, and remove the hoses, and you pop this guy out. It's gonna have some gasket material on there. I went ahead and scraped that off and wire brushed this part, and I also wire brushed where it's on the motor, stuck a rag down in there, cleaned it off so nothing got up in the fluids. So basically, yeah, that's it. So right now I'm gonna show you a little dry fitting on how all these components go on there. Thermostat, gasket, rubber O-ring, housing. Boom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm pretty much going to take all these parts off, use some of the silicone gasket maker on the actual gasket so I can get a good seal, and through the magic of editing, the next time you see this, it'll be all bolted up and on, and then we're going to move on to the next portion of what we're doing today. All right, thermostat housing installed. Check it out. 4 12mm gasket, some silicone up in there. But let's move on to the next part of this install. So if you can see right there with that fluids bobbling around right next to that leaf is where the temp gauge sending unit is. And there's actually some components I had to take off, so let me go back to the tailgate workbench and show you what I took off. We're back to the tailgate workbench. I'm showing you guys the components I had to remove on the temp sending unit. So basically, you have this coupler right here, 1/2-inch thread that goes into the block, and then this sending unit right here screws into this guy like that. And then that part goes to your temp gauge. So I took all this off because I needed to install this mechanical temp gauge. The issue is this guy's too long. So when you try to install it on the OEM coupler, when it goes in there, it kind of bottoms out and you can't screw it down all the way. It goes like, it's like that. So what I did is I went to my local Ace hardware store and I found a 1/2-inch coupler, and this is the actual part. This is the actual piece that came with the Bosch kit right here. I'm gonna screw this guy on like that, screw that guy into the block, and then we should have enough room. Oh, check it out. We have enough room so it doesn't bottom out against the block, and we can get a proper temperature reading. Coupler installed, Bosch adapter installed, and now the actual heat sensor has been installed. The little fluid you see in there is before I put the sensor in, I topped off the fluids and it started coming out the back, and then I just put the heat sensor in there and tightened it up. So this is what it looks like in the engine bay, and as you can see, you have this crazy little wire thing that runs that way, and it's like crimped on, so you can't screw it off. and I couldn't find a nice big hole in the firewall to run that line through, so let me show what I did. So this is how I solved the problem. I took a nice little drill bit, one of these step drill bit things, and pretty much drilled into the, you know, the little transmission cover thing right here. Initially I was gonna run it underneath like maybe the rubber pieces, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drill a hole, make it easy. So there you go. So the next test is firing up the motor and seeing if I can get a proper reading and no leaks, and hopefully the car doesn't overheat. Let's get to it. So after running her for a bit, as you can see, no leaks right there on the thermostat housing, but I do believe I probably have to tighten down one of those couplings because I think she's leaking over there a little bit. But as of right now, she's still overheating, and I don't know what the hell it is, so got to keep on troubleshooting this. Hey guys, what's up? I thought I'd jump in at the end of this video. I filmed this a while ago, and I noticed that all the footage I had, I was pretty much concerned about the motor still overheating. What I learned on I Hate Mud is that it's pretty much not overheating. You shut the motor off, there's some heat soak going on, and the temperature spikes up a little bit, and at this point, hitting the 200 something degrees is pretty much normal operating temperatures. So I am no longer worried about that, just in case you're wondering, which I don't know why you would be. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.